What's good, everybody? It's your boy Tim. I'm back at it again with another video. And this video, I'm gonna be talking about how I almost got asthma into my division. It wasn't because of my run. It was because of some BS that happened at boot camp with a female. So basically, I got these notes on my phone, basically offer for remembrance for what happened today. So the beginning of the story, I believe it was around week 3 or week 4. Week 3 or week 4, it was about weapons training class. So that was our week. And we were just going back to different classes and stuff to the basic class we had to take in basic training. So we went to class for sex ed. And in sex ed class, we was BS in my division. We were with my sister there. We were BSing the whole time. And my chief was gone. So everybody was like, okay, cool. We can just really do what we want. My chief ended up walking in on us. He was already pissed and saying he was going to beat us, which beat means better educate and train. So you got a ITE session, which was intensive training and doing exercises and everything. So after we marched back to our ship, your ship is a building, which the building you live in. So I was in ship 13 after we got out. Well, let me backtrack because I ain't gonna lie, I had to throw this in there. I don't know what shit we went to, but the child was that child was amazing. Like, I remember we had meatball sub with mozzarella sticks and everybody got full. So everybody was basically bullshitting the whole day. So after that, we marched back to the ship and we got beat on the grinder. So we was on the grinder. The grinder is like the area where you march off of, but it's your ship. And then you go outside and it's just like a little grinder where you put your little flags or whatever down there. So my chief was already pissed. He was pissed off at us. But we was like, bro, we not finna get beat. None of this shit really finna happen. So it did happen. We got beat on the grinder. And we got beat for a good amount of time. And everybody was just, all the other divisions was just walking past us and marching past us while we was getting beat. So after we got beat, what happened? Yeah, we had PT in the compartment. We did PT in the compartment right after we got beat. So it was like, okay, cool. Everybody finna go PT. We did it inside the compartment. And then after that, they said, all right, get ready for hygiene. So I got done hygiening, took my little shower or whatever. After I got done my shower, I'm just drying off and I hear my chief yell my Godon's name. He was like, Godon, get your ass in here. I was like, okay. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. And then after that, before that, my sister Div Chief, she walked in and went into the fishbowl, which is the office, and talked to the chief. Then that's when he called the Godon. And then after he called the Godon, he came back out. And I'm like, everybody like, bro, we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going on in there. And I was like, bro, I don't know what's going on. All I hear is, PLC, get your ass over here. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on. So after that, I was like standing right there and she was like, come with me. I was like, okay, cool. I ain't tripping. I ain't do nothing. Walked right into the P-way, which is the hallway. Now, mind you, my division's compartment and the sister Div's compartment are literally like a 3, 4 or 5 feet space from each other. So it's like you don't sleep in the same compartment. Y'all just 5 feet away from each other from door to door. So I stood in the hallway, the P-way. So I stood in there and I could see through the latch, through the window of their division. And it was just so many females lined up shaking their head. That's him. And I was like, bro, what did I do? After that, man, I was tripped out because she was like, okay, that's fine, come with me. Went in the fishbowl. My chief, he was like, so you trying to find love in boot camp? I'm like, chief, I don't know what you talking about. And he told me, I got a bunch of female recruits saying that you was passing notes at church. And I'm like, chief, how was I passing notes at church? I said, I haven't been to church one time throughout the whole boot camp. And I was like, bro, I don't even go to church because I had watched like that church is on Sundays. So I had watched the Sunday before and like the past 3 Sundays before. I was like, nah, bro, I don't really have a reason to go to church for an hour in boot camp. So after that, basically he was just getting on my ass. So a little backstory about what happened with the female. The dude in my division, I'm not gonna say his name, and I'm not gonna say the girl name because honestly I don't remember. But she was basically going around saying I was cute or whatever. And they had watch on the quarter deck. Together, and they end up talking, which you're not supposed to have recruit to recruit contact. So he came back to me, and during the weapons training class, he was like, bro, she wrote you a note with all her social media information on it. And I was already pissed off at the time because of BS I was going through in boot camp. Well, outside of boot camp, when I got my first call that I had to deal with. So I was like, man, I don't want nothing to do with that. I was like, I'm not tripping. Like, that ain't got nothing to do with me. He was like, all right, I'm gonna just flush it. I'm gonna tell y'all how somebody ended up telling or whatever after that. So come back to it. He called everybody in and what happened, told them what happened. And he was like, I'm about to get both of them out of my division. I'm like, bro, I literally did nothing. Like, I did nothing wrong. So after that, yeah, what happened after that? I got the whole day, they had to write a little, the chiefs and the RDCs, they had to write their little statement or whatever about what happened because their chief is the one who told my chief. So I went back to the compartment. Everybody like, you good or whatever. I'm like, no, bro, I'm not good. And came to the point where I was like, that end of the day, I was like, bro, I really couldn't give a F. I was like, if they asthma me, they just asthma me because I know I didn't do anything wrong. Like, if I decline the note, why I got to go back and tell? So that was my mindset at the time, but I was just pissed off because of so much other stuff that was going on. So that night, some other stuff happened that it had nothing to do with me. It just had something to do with the division. And my chief brought me in and we was talking about it or whatever. And I just told him, like, I'm finna go to captain's mass about this because it's a recruit to recruit contact. That was it was violated CO's top 6. So after that, he was like, man, I don't care. He was like, I'm gonna let you know this right now. I'm not letting anything happen to you. I'm not letting you go to captain's mass. Even though he was hella disappointed in my ass for not telling him. He was like, he would have went to bat for me. I just should have told him what happened, but I honestly didn't give a fuck at the time, like, about the note or whatever, about what she was talking about. So after that, stuff, you would think stuff would have cooled down, but nah. We had PT a couple days later, and PT was at Freedom Hall this time. It wasn't in the compartment. And everybody was getting ready to go run their little mile and a half, do their little 20-minute sustained run. So I'm like, cool. I'm up in there, and then he just like, my chief just like, nah, no, my petty officer, she was like, go meet chief on the quarter deck. I was like, okay. So I double time all the way back to, double time is running. So I ran back all the way to ship 13 and I met my chief on the quarter deck. And after that, I had to talk to, I was brought into the office. It was the girl and it was the dude in my division. And it was another girl that, something had happened to her. But after that, I went in last. I talked to the senior chief and my sister Div's chief. And they was just going on. He was like, why didn't you tell chief or whatever that a note was brought to you? And I was like, I don't know, senior chief. And he was like, no, I want a real answer, recruit. I want a real answer. Why didn't you bring it to me? Why didn't you bring it to his attention? I was like, because I didn't care, senior chief. He was like, nah, that's what I'm talking about right there, honesty. And he basically ended up saying that I was able to stay in my division, but I ended up getting awarded a ITE session, which is exercising. My chief had to exercise me, and I had to write a 500-word paragraph, which I didn't know was allowed in boot camp. But he told me that we had a long go talk. Basically, he was saying I was selfish and it was a failure to report and all that, which I didn't think was serious, but they took it serious in boot camp. So after that, what happened? Yes, I got awarded the 500-word essay in the ITE session, but all the other people that it happened to, they got ASMO because it was a recruit to recruit contact. I didn't have recruit to recruit contact. I just had a failure to report. So I didn't violate CO's top 6. I just got awarded what was deserved. So after that, we had to go explain the situation to a whole nother senior chief. It was supposed to be somebody on my chain of command at RTC chain of command, but he ended up not being there. So I had to go talk to another senior chief. And basically they were saying that they don't have to worry about the other side of me. They got the easy, they said I fixed the hard part myself, but they just focusing on fixing the easy part of me not caring, but which was still BS to me at a certain point in time. But after that, I talked to him and came down to it. My chief did not beat me that week. He did not IT me that week. I think that was week 3. He IT me week 6. And week 5, I still wrote I had to write no, it was week 4 actually. Week 4, before the RDC assessment, I had to write the essay, but I didn't write it because I got SIQ, and my chief was still pissed that I didn't write it because he didn't come in that day. So he told me if I didn't write it, he documented my hard card, said if I didn't write it, that I would be ASMO for not whatever. So after that, he awarded me another ITE session. So I had 2 ITE sessions that didn't happen, and they were like 3 weeks apart from the situation. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna write this little 500-word essay. I wrote it literally that night. It took me like an hour to write it. Well, cause I was just tired. After TAPS, I wrote it, but I was really in my head. I was like, I'm just gonna bullshit through this little essay so I can get out the way. And next day, I gave it to him. He read it or whatever, and basically we were standing in front of my whole division. He was just like, that essay that you gave me was bullshit. And at the time, I'm in my head, like, I really couldn't care. I was like, I already got to deal with enough stuff as it is in boot camp. Even though boot camp is not hard. It's just like you focus on so much other stuff, and you have to deal with stuff like this that you think wouldn't even matter in boot camp. So I wrote some stuff in my essay, and he called it out to the whole division. And everybody was like, okay, some of that stuff he's saying is actually real. He was like, do you really feel this way about some of this stuff? And I was like, yes, chief, I really do. I'm not joking. After that, he ended up telling me to go read this book. Actually, it's right there on the counter. You don't have to, oh, well, yeah, toss to me. He told me to read this book, As a Man Thinketh, as soon as I got out of boot camp. And I ended up reading it as in my A school. So that was like a real like heart-to-heart moment. Even through all the negativity, he still was there for me. But here you go. But that happened. So he was pissed off about that. Ended up being cool after that. Read that. He told me about the book and everything. The last final story of this, the last part of this story was the day I got IT. I got IT'd on 6 TAC SAT a week before I graduated. I had the situation happen in week 3. I got beat on week 6. He kept on telling me, my chief kept on telling me, I'm gonna get you right. And I'm just like in my head, like, this man really finna forget about it. We had PT that day on, it was a Saturday. It was week 6 on Saturday, and everybody had PT. He took me right out the compartment, told me to just wait right there. He was like, I told you I was gonna get you, didn't it? He was like, now you ready? Surprisingly, I got beat a good amount of time, which again, I will say, does not mean you actually get physically hands put on you. It means better educate and train. You will go through a series of exercises. So I'm just really in there just eating the exercises, and everybody just watching me sound off. I think I was getting IT with like 3 more other dudes, but it was like me and this other dude, we were just sounding off the whole time, and everybody was like, dang, we didn't know Peyton could go like that. But in the end, my whole division was like, he still didn't deserve it at all, which I still don't think I deserved it, but of course it's the military, so I have to live up to their standards. So I got done with my ITE session that day. So I'm like, okay, I just got done with this. Like, I just ate this shit. Like, I'm not really worried. I ate chow at the table in the compartment. A couple hours later, my chief, he was getting ready to head out. My petty officer came in and was like, I'm tired of all these recruits trying to go against the grain. Everybody get ready for this little session we finna have. I'm like, wait, what? He was like, it's a certain amount of recruits up in here that want to go against the grain. I'm like, bro, I know I'm not one of them recruits because I chill in boot camp. Like, I'm telling you, like, I was dummy chill. This man called my name first. And I was like, bro, what? Everybody in the division was like, bro, they really calling Peyton name. Like, Peyton is really chill and don't do nothing. Man, I'm telling you, I was already sore from the other ITE session that same day. Man, they came in and he was like, he had to put me to the front because at that point, I was already in the back and I started sounding off. But then at that point, I was like, bro, fuck this. Like, I'm already giving my all as it is. Now he was like, man, you come to the front because I see you like to cheat in the back on your exercises. At that point, I wasn't even cheating. I just didn't care because I was like, bro, y'all can asthma me if y'all want to. I'm like, this shit is not necessary. Which in reality, it was necessary because it's the military. But I got a whole different mindset on it now. And after that, everything ended up being cool. We talked about it. We talked about it the night of battle stations. And it ended up being pretty funny. So moral of the story is, if you go to boot camp, you gotta snitch. No, I'm not telling y'all to snitch. No, just be cool. Like, if anybody come to y'all with the BS, in reality, in civilian life, bro, you don't want to be a snitch. But if it's brought to your attention, you a part of it already. Like, even if you not a part of it, you a part of it. And backstory about it is, all the other what happened to the dude in my division, he got asthma. The female in the division, she got asthma. After I got out of A school, I started talking, like, yeah, I was talking to my sister Dale's RPOP. She ended up telling me that she the one who told. And I'm just like, bruh, like, really? She was like, yeah. She was like, you don't realize how serious you was in boot camp. And I'm like, what do you mean? She was like, you never responded to anybody. She was like, you really wasn't fazed by nothing. She was like, you was nonchalant. I used to see you in the galley all the time. You would just be looking straight. You would eat your food and you would just chill. She was like, she was going around our compartment saying how y'all liked each other, even though she never talked to you. I never talked to this female in my life. And after that, they was like, oh yeah, she bragging about that. Cause the girl who basically was saying that she liked me and everything, she was the Sister Deal's first RPOP. Then I was actually talking after A school to my Sister Deal's real RPOP. So she was telling me everything about how she was just bragging everything about me. And my Sister Deal's RPOP, she was fucking with me. So she was like, oh yeah, they was finna get her since she want to brag or whatever. So her MA ended up going to tell they chief about her. And it ended up being me. And she was like, at that point, she was like, well, he don't want to pay any attention to me, but he want to talk to her or whatever. So I guess they end up snitching or whatever. So, I mean, it happened. I don't really trip off it, but I bounced back from it. I'm still cold as fuck in the military. I still graduated on time with my division. I still didn't make no dumb decisions. But yeah, man, that's about it. That's pretty much everything off my list. But that's another great funny story that happened in boot camp. I was really pissed about it, but now I can laugh about it. But moral of the story, go into boot camp, go and get what you need to get, focus on what you need to focus on. All that playing around and looking at females, that's not it, bro. I'm gonna tell you this right now. All that you looking for a female and she looking for a male, that's not it. Just go into boot camp with a modest heart and a humble mindset to go get what you got to get. This is for your life, and you choose your life. So y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to this video. I got a whole bunch of videos coming, so make sure to go follow me on my Instagram page too at _NAYTON. Spells my name just with a Y. It's Peyton. Not a Y, I'm tripping. With a 9 in place of the P. Yeah, son. Huh? Huh? Oh, yeah, we do got I do got another video coming, but that's gonna be some shit that y'all don't expect. But I'm gonna drop a banger probably next couple of days. But y'all go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. You know, get this video a thumbs up, man. Appreciate y'all for having me. It's your boy Peyton again. I'm out.
Fat cock.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I was gonna say you should have teased. You still got some footage. You should be like, next video we're gonna talk about battle station, and then that should cut off.
No, I don't do
Yeah,
that. No, I'm gonna just do